The reason why I'm conflicted is I'm having a pseudoscience bullshit conundrum of I believe in some aspects of pseudoscience, but yet pseudoscience seems to be its case of science, science, science. Pseudoscience is a cliff and everything is nonsense, but there's some of it which I have had experience with and agree with, but I think it's dangerous to even mention any of it without suddenly being embroiled with all aspects of pseudoscience. Okay, so let me explain this. So I am somebody who suffered from sciatica. In fact, if you look at my video here, I've done a rather long 21-minute video about my sciatica, about my herniated discs, how they're pushing against the nerve of my spine. I love MRI scans, they are badass. And also the idea of degenerative disc disease and all that kind of stuff. And with that, I've found it very debilitating to the point where I can't do exercise, and sometimes the pain's been excruciating, been bedridden for weeks at a time, and it's not good. But okay, this is where it gets a bit annoying. There's been situations and experiences which I've had where the pain has disappeared and I'm absolutely fine, but through no use of medication or even stretching or flexibility. The most exact example I've got is with I have a drone. I have a little DJI Phantom drone, which requires a lot of concentration to fly. It's also a very nervous thing to do because it's 1,000 pounds worth of gear that's run by a little battery, and if there's wind or moisture or a bird attacks or it loses signal, there's just a lot of like, oh my god, focusing on that. And there was times when my back was so bad I could barely walk, but it was great weather, so I was like, I'm just going to get in the car. I can't do a jog, I can't run anywhere, I can't even walk up a hill, but I could maybe see the landscape by flying my drone. So I would painfully drive somewhere, like to the point where I can't even push my leg down on the accelerator or the clutch, depending on which leg is having the problem at the time. And I'd get to the place and I'd get the drone out, I'd be like, and then the 20 minutes of flying a drone, let's not use drones as a medical intervention, but this is just my experience here. 20 minutes of flying a drone, didn't experience any pain. And you know, I'd be walking along the edge of not a road, but like the edge of a path, kind of following it, checking sure that it's okay, watching the monitor, and I'd be like, yeah, don't feel any pain whatsoever, and I feel absolutely fine. And it was just kind of bizarre like that. I've also had stuff like chiropractic. I've had a chiropractor do stuff on me, which again, for like 20 minutes afterwards, I'm like, hey, holy crap, I feel great. That's really worked. Fantastic. But then the next day, I'm like, I'm still just as sore as what I was before. So, not saying that chiropractic necessarily cures you, but it did something for like 20 minutes that made things good. It obviously didn't get rid of the actual damage or the irritation, but something happened. Additionally, here's the next point. For my university degree, my dissertation was on the power of suggestion. So not quite to the level of hypnosis, but just suggestion. So just my dissertation was on exercise performance. So I'd be telling somebody they're going to be stronger, the weight's going to be lighter, I'm going to help them, it's going to be easy, and lo and behold, people would have monumental strength gains, and they'd be like, that was easy. How much were you helping? I'm like, I didn't even touch the bar. So the effect of suggestion, the effect of the placebo, the effect of distraction are stuff which aren't necessarily totally supported by doctors, by the medical profession. So if I went to my GP just now and said, oh, my leg is killing me because I went jogging, they'd be like, well, rest it, take these painkillers, and don't do anything for the next week. They wouldn't be saying, have this placebo and imagine you're going to feel better and you'll get better. You know, that's not going to happen. And at the same time, I understand that doctors fix the symptoms or treat the symptoms, but the cure is usually just the body has to do it by itself. So I'm kind of half hippie, half like science, 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 but at the same time like, yeah, sometimes science doesn't totally do it, but there's anecdotal advice of saying doing some of this hippie bullshit, and I suppose my stuff is like fairly accepted hippie bullshit. So placebo is an accepted level of hippie bullshit. Suggestion, hypnosis, accepted levels of bullshit. Like, you know, I think the NHS in the UK is giving hypnosis for people who want to give up smoking. Yeah, so the thing is better to give somebody 5 courses of hypnotherapy. I think they're even doing it for people who are overweight, and I may be wrong here, but I was hearing somewhere hypnosis for fertility. So if a woman's trying to get pregnant, there is, it may be like the Daily Mail told it, but there was like, if you want to get pregnant, come get this hypnotherapy. We will help you. Your chances of getting pregnant increase by 3 times by having our pregnancy hypnotherapy. You're like, that has to be bullshit. But there has to be advertising standards, and it was done by doctors, so there's got to be some sort of research behind it and all that kind of stuff. So at the moment, my back is killing me again. I did a jog the other day. I was like, I feel great. Came back, did no bloody stretching. That's my failure in life. Is I just don't stretch. I don't like stretching. I find it uncomfortable. Don't know when to stretch. And if it's not in your daily activity, it's something really difficult to get in the mood for. It's like, how much do I warm up before I stretch? Do I do cold stretch? Do I do dynamic stretches? Can I just do foam rolling? Can I just do like myofascial release? So maybe not just with the foam roller, but maybe with like everyone calls it the lacrosse ball, or the tennis ball, or the peanut kind of stuff. Is that better? So that's a whole level of physiology which I neglect, and evidently from neglecting that I keep on destroying myself. So just now my butt is killing me. Partly piriformis issues. So piriformis is a muscle that goes from your hip to your what is it? From your hip to your tailbone. What's that called? Your celiac, scriliac. No, what's it called? Your sacrum. Oh Christ! From your sacrum, which is your tailbone, not quite your coccyx. Your coccyx is the very end bit, but your sacrum to the hip, and your sciatic nerve goes down underneath it. And effectively, from doing my, I did a 7-kilometer jog the other day. First jog I've done in about a year. Everything's just gone and got tight. I can barely straighten my legs. My hamstrings are tighter than a piano string, and it's all because like, if only I did stretching. If only I did stretching. But anyway, there's lots of stories out there about ways to cure back pain, which aren't physiological things. So in other words, there's some guys that I watch. Hold on, have I got them here? No, not that one. Not that one. There's some physiotherapists online which I watch all the time. They're always like, do this stretch, foam roll here, do a press up that way, move your hips that way, all this stuff to kind of get mobility and stuff in your hips, your shoulders, your back, all that kind of stuff. If I can remember their link, I'll put it down below if you want to watch their stuff. They always start their videos with, hey, the most famous physiotherapists on YouTube. That's just our opinion, kind of thing. But they've got like 140,000 subscribers. So Yeah, it's these two guys. Physical therapy video, 144,000 subscribers, doing good. Tell you how to crack your back safely, how to do certain stretches and all that stuff. So they're total dorks, but it's sweet. They're not going to win presenters of the year, and their audio is crap sometimes. Like, their actual capture of their audio is horrendous, and their camera person can never zoom in whenever they need to zoom in. Doesn't matter, but they've got a lot of good evidence. So what I'm saying is these guys are all about, here's stretches, here's movements, here's things, and show your joints and the muscles and all that kind of stuff. So that's great. But at the same time, I am getting people sending me comments like, this guy, heel back pain, cool, thank you very much. And it's this 3.5 hour video. Who has time to watch that, Pesh? I've been listening to it while I've been in a cold bath as part of my actual physical therapy, and it's dangerous. Well, this is where I'm so conflicted, because there's so much I'm kind of going, yeah, a lot of the time pain is just purely in your head. There may be physical damage, but there is mind over matter. I believe in mind over matter. We can overcome pains, niggles, even if there's anatomical problems. There are, like, your body can totally adapt to it, and you can overcome it, all that stuff. But there's a level of bullshit. I don't want to say bullshit, because for some people it will totally work, and it's this guy. Let's see if I can actually hear.
Irony of the usual experience with one of these attacks is that most patients would be better off if they consulted no one.
Okay, so yeah, there's another bit of advice of, yeah, sometimes knowing too much information can make things worse. So in other words, knowing that you've got an actual herniated disc can be worse than just kind of going, it's a bit sore, I'll rest it, I'll get better again. And there is this cycle. So this is really dangerous, because this video here, I half agree. Like, there's a feedback loop of, oh, don't want to injure it anymore, so you do less work, which potentially causes more injury. So I'm in such a dilemma here of, I'm agreeing with that, but then this certain stuff here, I've seen it in a few different videos here, whereas they then go on to proper hippie bullshit, which again some of you may totally agree with, where they're like going, how to instantly cure back pain. First of all, don't look for external factors, look inside yourself. Where's your repressed emotions? What negative feelings are you holding on to? And just like, hold on, I was looking for a stretch to work my glutes. Why am I now looking for repressed emotions about childhood abandonment? How is that affecting this back pain I got from a car crash? I don't quite get this here. But there's a lot of people that do that. There's another one, I'll see if I can see the one which just another person that I just watched a minute ago. So this guy here, inspired by nature, he doesn't sound like a total spacer hippie, and he sounds totally legit. He's like, I injured my back from my bike and all that kind of stuff. He was ripped, covered in tattoos, cool. He seems like a normal person going on, and
dear to myself.
I can barely hear it.
Was being taken away from me.
But then he kind of goes into like
a website called Go Pain Go in this area. So over the next 4 weeks, to the point where I was actually ready to go back to work. Yoga for.
So yeah, a bit of yoga, a bit of stretching.
Meditation was a strong
bit of meditation. And then, but this guy goes on to the full-on. You've got to have an alkalizing diet that will get rid of pain. But the diet that he goes on to. Yeah, we've got to be super alkaline, so it'll kill everything. But then he's like, yeah, this, I don't know if this is something that he follows, but like raw fruits and veggies, fine. I don't know how that's going to cure my back pain. Green smoothies or juices is meant to be even better. Fruits for breakfast, lunch, salad for dinner. That's I would say, happily healthy diet. 100% fruit. Okay, let's get some other food in there. Fruit smoothie, fruit juice, mono fruit. And so this is level of how to detoxify yourself to the point, mono juice. So your whole diet is just mono fruit juices. So I'm only drinking pineapple juice. That's detoxifying me, and that will cure my broken leg. And it's such a danger. I just find it utter bullshit to the level of water. Again, I understand fasting has... This is the complication here, because fasting has evidence behind it saying that it is beneficial for many things, from illnesses, from simple illnesses to diseases, giving your body time to recover, to even so I can't just say the thing of like, oh, a broken leg. There has been evidence of where fasting has increased the rate of cell repair. Okay, it may not have been about broken leg, but it was cell repair from fasting, because like your body just isn't spending time digesting and going through all the shit that you consume. But if you're just drinking bottled water, your body's like, cool, we can send our resources. It also depends if you've got enough fat reserves, and use the energy from our fat reserves that are in our liver and in our fat cells, and we can just spend time, like bizarrely your metabolism increased through short-term fasting, and short-term I'm talking about like 3 to 4 days, and it increased people's healing time and all that stuff. So there's like, there's shit I believe in, but at the same time, there's utter bullshit out there, and I just...
My vibration too.
And then this guy starts going on about his fucking vibration. What is it with... I've got to stay cool. I've got to stay cool. It's... I feel like I'm just wading up to my neck in... There's bullshit up to here. But in that bullshit, there are some nuggets. There's some nuggets of tasty bananas in that bullshit. You can take the banana out and you can peel it, and it's still as safe to eat banana, but you're still wading through bullshit. And then, like, this guy, can we hear what he's saying? It's so quiet.
Synchronized with the vibration of the fruit being on such a high level.
I've got to be on the same vibration as the fruit. And it's so difficult to be on the same vibration as a fruit because it's on such a high level. Like, what the actual
I'll
fuck?
just go through here.
And then he's talking about, like, angstroms, the vibrational frequency, body frequency. Like, just, this is utter bullshit, which I cannot recommend or cannot promote in any way. But at the same time, there's some nuggets of not bullshit. So yeah, at the same time, a lot of times I think sometimes pain isn't real. Pain is bullshit. Sometimes it is just all mental. Sometimes additional mental factors like stress can aggravate pain, can start up pain, but I don't necessarily follow the same rules of, well, it's repressed emotions from childhood abandonment and sexual deviation which you can't express, you know, and then it's like, and it's because you haven't had enough high vibrational fruit. You need to be, or maybe it's like your fruit is too vibrating and you need to have vibrating fruit that's at the same level as your vibration to have vibration equilibrium, blah, blah, blah. It's just like vomiting bullshit. It's so difficult. So difficult. And I think when you have a little bit of bullshit that, or not a little bit, but when you have somebody spout out what I should say, I should claim this, what I consider to be bullshit about the vibrations and energy, blah of the fruit that you eat, it makes me then discredit everything else that they've said. But which is a danger because there's sometimes really good bits of shit in there. good bits of information amongst all the shit. Anyway, that was just a little rant. I don't have a point to get over. I don't have a conclusion to this video. It's just, I have a rant, I wanted to get off my shoulders. Maybe just getting this off my shoulders is releasing my pent-up, frustrational, negative energies, and I go and it's helping me detoxify my pineal gland and decalcify my colon, blah blah. There's so much bullshit out there, it's unreal. But so many people believe that bullshit, and the danger is the people that believe that bullshit wholeheartedly have fantastic placebo effects. So is the bullshit bullshit? Ugh. it's like that question I put out before. It's like, if you had a choice, you had to choose, would you rather eat a delicious chocolate flavoured turd or a disgusting actual turd flavoured chocolate bar? What do you choose? I don't know if that's the right analogy for what I've just tried to say here, but it is an analogy. Use it as you wish. So yeah, I'll put the links to the ones which I will say that are useful. These guys, physical therapy video. Even just watch them for a laugh because they're fun. They're harmless, definitely, and they don't get nearly enough views. Anyway, vibrations. See you guys later. Bye bye.